And I'm going to talk about my vision statement today. Here on the screen is my vision statement. It says, as an academic guidance counselor, my goal is to provide services and inspire students with different abilities, cultures, and learning styles to best meet their needs. I want to help the students with best what they can with all the different cultures, different learning abilities, and much more. I want to be an educator that they come to me for anything. So no matter their financial status, race, religion, sexuality, or anything that might make them feel different, I'll do my best to be the best version that they need me to be. So first is the hidden curriculum and learners. So there are many different types of learners. Zimmerman talks about in his article that the characteristics and knowledgeable of a particular group of people encompassing language, religion, cuisine, social habits, music, and arts is what defines a type of learner. So that can be in many different ways. A student might be able to learn through visually seeing something, or someone or another learner might be able to actually physically do this. So as a counselor, I want to be able to help with any style that they need to be helped with and communicate with the teachers how to do that. A hidden curriculum in my office will be a little bit different than like a teacher, which is go back to referring what a hidden curriculum is, which is unwritten, unofficial, and often unintended lessons, values, and perspectives that students learn in school. And that is from an article from this hidden curriculum definition from our resources. Everyone will understand what the hidden curriculum is by the lessons or things that are found or activities. There are many different things that students can do without them even really knowing that they will be able to be using it. So, for example, help making them choose an option might help them within their future, but they don't even realize that they're doing it for their future. So next is learning environment and the concept of space, place, and material culture. So in the background, you can see my office and what I would like one day to be like. I want to be in the school office. I want to be in an environment where my students can come and talk to me about anything, a place where they can relax, a place where they can do their homework, a place where they can come and talk to me if they need to be. Um, so Tinneman talks about in his articles that many of those who embark upon the development of school grounds are convinced that in addition to benefits of specific changes, other less tangible benefits as a result of the process of change, which had a significant impact on the operation of their school as a whole. So what he's stating here in this is that their environment really made a difference in the students' lives, understanding and how much it made a difference in their learning. When thinking about designing certain places, there are a lot that goes into that process. So thinking about what a teacher might need in like the first rows or whatever they might need, depending on the generation. When my parents were in school, it's a lot different than when I was in school. So really making that and so really understand the concept of space and place. Material is very, very important. So being able to have what is needed for the students is going to be very important. So in my example, in mine, I really want to be able to have a place where my students can come do homework, can go and relax, watch TV, go and have a snack if they need a snack of anything, or can make a difference. Next, I'm going to be talking about the achievement gap. The achievement gap still plays a big role in today's society. There are many different reasons for achievement gap. Board talks about although school resources and variables do matter in our model, there are far less important predictors of students' test scores than are the student background variables. So really understanding what a student goes through and understanding their background will really make a difference in the achievement gap, because a school that has a lot of money and a lot of students that come from a lot of money will be a lot different than schools that don't have students with a lot of money. You'll be able to do that. So as a future educator, I will do everything I can to make sure the achievement gap does not play a huge role with their education. I will help them when they need figuring out what they can afford college, and I'll try the best to do anything as long as they strive to do their best. So really taking out that achievement gap. I don't want to use a statistic against my students, and so making sure that that is not a problem will be the biggest thing for me. Edmond also talks about in her article Close to the Finish Line, for the first time in 13 years, the department now makes clear that states, school districts, and schools must make education resources equally available to all students with regard to race, color, or, or national origin, which I think is very, very important. Achievement gap there's no reason for achievement gap nowadays, and I really feel like that we need to focus on as educators. Next is cultural disability and interrupting conflict. So one way as a company that I can break the culture conflict in my school is by addressing it and then celebrating everyone's culture. So for example, as an elementary school in my elementary school, we had a culture day and everyone brings things from their different cultures, and we would go around and we look at different foods, different uh, outfits, different songs, anything that was different from the culture. We were able to kind of celebrate it. So Lucas talks about in his article when culture class in the classroom, talks about more diverse classrooms are something to celebrate, but cultural differences that come along with them can affect teachers and students' interactions. So really trying to understand and celebrate people's different cultures, and a culture doesn't include like and nationality or what they are. It can also include religion too, making sure that they don't feel different with having a different religion than anyone else. So as a counselor, I believe I want to make that difference, so make that known into my classroom. So showing all the different cultures and having students come in, they can feel like they can talk about all the different cultures and be able to be treated with respect and fairly in my office. So that's really important to me. Next is pop culture and core rituals, which is very, very, very important right now. Pop culture is very relevant in students with what's on their phone, with what celebrities say that they need. So I think it's really important that they understand pop culture, and teachers and counselors and administrators use that to their advantage. There are so many um, students that will be able to connect in different ways. So that could be by simply enough making a TikTok. So in this article, 8 tips for integrating pop culture in the classroom, there's a statistics, and it says 2010 Kaiser Family Institute report indicates that youth between the ages of 8 and 18 spend approximately 7.5 hours per day, 7 days per week using media, including TV, music, video games, and books. That's up to 53 hours every week that could be potentially directed into learning. So if you can use that within learning, why not? Fisherman talks not Fishman, my bad. There's an article that we had in our materials. It was cultural politics, and it talks about match culture is not just a space of amusement, but also a space where social values are formed and political views are shaped. So I think it's truly important. A lot of kids nowadays get what they believe in from the media and from culture. So kind of integrating that in a classroom can totally help. Um, I think it's really, really important. Nunn also talks about in her article that teacher-fronted classrooms interactions, while frankly opposed to the more devolved interaction of communicative teaching, has remained the backbone of much institutional language learning worldwide. So I think really using pop culture to advantage is really going to help with my office and classrooms as well. Next is cultural responsive teaching. I honestly did not know what cultural responsive teaching was when I first learned it. So I'm going to say the definition of it is culture is central to learning. It plays a role not only in communicating and receiving information, but also shaping the thinking process of groups and individuals. A propagator that acknowledges, responds to, and celebrates fundamental cultures, offers full, equitably access to education for students from all cultures. So I think talking about it and responding to different cultures. So one thing, this article that I read, um, talks about like understanding yourself personally, what cultures that you understand and what you are, and the ways that you were stereotyped, and then going to your um, lesson plans or all your different stuff and what you're teaching your students. Are they culturally teaching everyone, not just one specific culture? Vigelas, I think, talks about, she states that I have a vision is offered of culture responsive teachers that can serve as a starting point for conversations among teacher educators in this process. So starting that will be really important at a young age. It will be really, really important. I want to be able to talk to teachers and talk to my students about them. I'll be able to really truly understand within the classroom. So that is the end of my PowerPoint. I just really wanted to say and discuss how much this vision statement means to me and how much really important it is to be an educator and be able to make an impact in your student's life. Thank you for listening.